And so
Hmm.
for me, I'm like, I can't get away from this song. So I was wondering if there's ever been a song where you're like, oh, this song, I can't escape it.
California.
Yeah.
Nerd Reactor, roll out.
Sophia, Chris, how's it going?
Hey, how
Great.
are you?
Yes. So, okay, I guess first question right off the bat I want to ask you if this is the movie has a lot of mystery, and with the surprises, it's very shocking. So I was wondering for each of you, have you ever been in a project where a surprise has really shocked you?
Hmm.
You know, I think this project is maybe the closest thing to like really the genre of thriller that I've ever been a part of. So as far as twists and turns and surprises, I think I got to give it to this script for my career as an actor.
Yeah, I mean it's really so tremendous. I think um, you can't have done as much television as myself or Chris and not have had a moment where you flip a page in a script and go, "What?" But this one is, I think, so layered and so rich because of the incredible source material. I mean, Adele Park's book is a wild ride, and the way that they managed to adapt it for the screen, I think, was absolutely tremendous, and clearly why we all said yes to this one, you know?
Yeah,
Oh
not to mention
yeah.
how fast the twists and turns happen in a film script as opposed to television. You might have one big gotcha in an episode, but gosh, it comes at you fast in a film script.
Hmm.
Oh yeah. And speaking of, let's say this film with having a lot of layers, right? And I want to know for each of you, uh, what it's like if things are being overwhelmed, and how do you absorb it all and handle that?
Overwhelmed, you mean in life or overwhelmed in the character? Forgive me.
Take your pick.
I'm not particularly good at handling stress when I'm overwhelmed. I like to hide under a blanket and wait for things to pass. Uh, but I'm much better at handling stress than Trom Truby. I'll just tell you that.
Mm, tell me about it. Yeah, I think what felt really nice about this script for me, especially, was getting to play a woman who was so terrified, but willing to do it anyway. She is incredibly determined. And even though this is such a surreal experience and she's incredibly overwhelmed and does not know how this is going to work out, she still decides to, you know, take a deep breath and run toward the problem. And I really, really enjoyed it. And I guess that's part of the fun of being an actor in general is to put yourself in situations and see if you can figure out how to be that person who's written on the page.
Oh yeah. And speaking of fun, there's a saying where, villains have the most fun. And I was wondering if that's something you would agree with, Chris.
100%. Yeah. I've gotten to play the villain in several films over my career, and I don't want to give too much away about this project, about who's going to end up being the bad guy, but knowing my history, I can say 100% the villains have the best time.
And this movie opens up with the song Lil Boo Thing in high school. And I think it's a very popular song of the year in movies because it was featured also in Minecraft and Companion. And so
Oh.
for me, I'm like, I can't get away from this song. So I was wondering if there's ever been a song where you're like, oh, this song, I can't escape it.
California.
Yeah, yeah. I would say the iconic theme songs of our early aughts shows are the ones for us.
Good thing there's such good songs.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know. You did get lucky with both of them, which is pretty surreal.
Yeah.
And since I am from Orange County, so
Oh.
I have to ask you, Chris, what was like the
You can
most
tell me how it's done then.
I don't know. So I want to know what's the most fondest memory of being on the set of the OC.
Hmm.
Oh gosh, it was so long ago, so I have to say it's a little bit of a blur because it happened so fast. It was my first big project, but I will forever remember the our first episode, pilot episode, fight scene on the beach, freezing our butts off, and of course the iconic line, "Welcome to the OC, bitch." I knew when we filmed that, I was like, "Oh, that's the promo right there."
Yep.
I know it would it would live so long.
It's the OC, you know. It's like whatever is in the OC, it will transcend time. Uh,
Exactly.
Sophia, because you're also in a popular teen drama, One Tree
Hmm.
Hill, and I want to know like what for you is the most fondest memory for that.
Oh my goodness. Similarly to what Chris said, um, it's sort of a blur, and then you have also these standout moments. I think for me, the time that I got there with my girlfriends, the sort of trials and tribulations of it, it's been really special to be able to look back. And I think particularly, our COVID project of starting our rewatch podcast really let us, we finally got to see it like the fans did. And I will never forget after we watched the pilot episode, we actually watched the pilot and then the next one, two in a row to kick off the show. And we looked at each other and we were all sobbing. We were like, wait, this is actually really good. And
It's
it
like
was such a crazy moment for us because we realized, and when you're making TV, you don't really have time to watch it. You're always on set when shows are airing. So it's been a really cool thing to get it now. I'm proud. We love it.
and because you guys have been on projects where it's let's say One Tree Hill or the OC, where it's like it's there, it's a living thing, people can watch it whenever, and then you're on projects now. So I was wondering if you ever that feeling of seeing yourself in the past to now, if there's it's like, oh wow, look at that, like this is so different in the feeling and compared to projects now.
I think for an actor, every project is a new adventure. I will say something that was very cool for the both of us is, we went and made this movie. It's obviously such a wild ride. And then what was it? 5 or 6 months later, I came to join you on Grays, and we walked onto set together, even though our characters don't have scenes together. The first day we actually saw each other on set, we're both in scrubs, and we're just like, what is happening here? We were cackling and sending selfies to Jeff and the rest of the cast from Stranger. And it's such a cool thing to, be in these moments in our careers where we're not just lucky enough to work together once, we're on a repeat circuit now. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
once you've been doing something for, 25 years, you start to recirculate and you go, "Oh, right, this is a big family, the entertainment industry."
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
very
and that's all the time I have, Sophia and Chris. But I just want to say thank you for taking the time for doing the interview, and can't wait for everyone else to watch The Stranger in My Home.
thank you.
Yeah.
How's it going, Jeff?
Hi, John. Nice to see you. How are you?
Same here, same here. All right, so The Stranger in My Home. This movie is kind of like the whole just confusion and then surprises, and so I was wondering for you, have you ever worked on a project and you have a memory of just being on set and there was a surprise that really just blew your mind?
That's a great question. Yes, I'm gonna go with yes. It was actually it was another movie we shot in Utah. Actually, it was for a Hallmark movie called My Christmas Love, and we like a lot of those Hallmark movies you shoot in the summer. And it's supposed to be Christmas, right? So we got there and like it was super hot, and it was supposed to be winter in Vermont. So and the snow machine on the first day of shooting, I think I only had two actors in town, so I had very limited scenes I could shoot or two leads. And we got there to shoot this before this exterior stuff and the snow machine didn't work. So I remember the surprise I had to quickly figure out any scenes with the two of them that could be filmed inside the house and quickly rush in the house and decorate the house for Christmas and do it. And luckily those actors were awesome and the crew was awesome and stuck to it. But that was a surprise that
Sounds like a crazy time. And
yeah.
so going back to this movie, is there a moment for that for this movie?
Right, I should have gone with that. Is there a moment of that for this for this movie? Yeah, I mean we lost the high school right before we started shooting the first high school that we were supposed to shoot at. It was playing two different ones. So that was like a quick rethink because we'd already like scouted and done all the, done all the prep for that. So that was a little surprise, but we pivoted and that the high school we ended up using was terrific. So it worked
Oh
out
yeah.
well.
There you go. And speaking of that high school, the opening, right, of the high school scene, it's the song that was playing was a Little Boo Things.
Yeah.
And this year, that song has been everywhere, including was it Minecraft and Companion. So what was it like for you in terms of trying to figure out what songs to use and whether it's like, this is the one I want to use and hopefully no one else uses it.
I'm so embarrassed. I haven't seen Minecraft or Companion. I want to see them both, but I didn't realize it's in there. I love that song. I just thought it was so infectious, and it's what we rehearsed the cheerleading number to on the day. And I wrote like 8 letters to try to get that song for our budget. Like
Eight
I was
letters.
dying for it. Yeah, we're asking everybody, and I think like Paul Russell, the gentleman that recorded it, like was on board and helped and. So, but yeah, I tried other songs and just nothing had that kind of fun, infectious, like feel good energy. And I really kind of wanted that for the cheerleading section before things start going not so great for the family. But yeah, so
Oh
that was
yeah, I agree. That song is infectious, and just hearing that the start of I was watching Companion first, hearing that song, and then hearing it now is just it doesn't get old.
It's good, yeah. I played it. Well, it was on. It's still on my workout playlist. I don't get tired of it. It's good.
And so in this movie, you have Sophie and Chris both playing opposite each other. There's like just that fun interaction of just what's gonna happen, right? And for you, what was that moment? If you ever felt like, oh, this is why I have them in this movie.
Oh man, I loved the whole cast. It was great. I mean, Sophia was like such a pro. She brought so much of her like previous experience and ideas, and I felt like she really like, she brought so much depth and subtlety to Allie, and and like Sophia, Chris brings this like inherent likability, like just from the characters he plays and just him as a person in life, right? So to see them having to deal with like the crazy challenges that these people are going through was super fun. I mean, I enjoyed working with them and was just so grateful for all the performances from Amaya, Chris Johnson, Rebecca Graff. They were everybody the Grace, Austin. They were all just great to work with.
Oh yeah. And I think with this movie, it's just with the casting, with the two main leads, would it be safe to say you're like a huge fan of teen dramas in the early 2000s?
Sure. Yes. I wish I was the teen in the early 2000s so I could be age appropriate for enjoying them. But yes, I listen, Sophia and Chris have so many fans. Like when you tell people that they're in it, just that you hear like, oh, I love Sophia Bush, I love Chris Carmack, I love, and I think they like shows like One Tree Hill and the OC, just people grew up loving them, and really connected to those characters, and I'm very grateful that that we have them, and hopefully, some of our young actors are so terrific. Hopefully, they'll, follow in footsteps, and again, our this whole cast, I couldn't be more grateful for. They were all terrific to work with.
Oh, yeah. And the story, there's so many layers to it with the characters because you're trying to figure out whether what is true, what is not true. And so it's like a game of like cat and mouse back and forth. And so what was it like for you filming these scenes and trying to make sure you're crafting in a way like to surprise the audiences, but also giving a little Easter eggs?
Yeah, it's a great question. Like in the last movie, based on Adele's book, there's some twists, right? That happen. So you're conscious of that, and then I mean, you could kind of, and Chris Syvertson did such a great job adapting the book into a screenplay. You can kind of, knowing the end, you can kind of see the subtext and the possibilities, and seeing what we could lean into to make, more people suspect, right? And what could play around. We just wanted it to be a fun ride. So like I'm hoping some of the fun is the, play along at home, or play along wherever you're watching it, to see if you can figure out what's what's really happening. I
Oh
don't know.
yeah.
We were playing around with taglines, and one was "the truth is relative," and I loved that, right? Because like I was like, oh, that's a good summation of this movie.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. But with that said, I want to say thank you for taking the time for doing the interview, and just can't wait for everyone else to check out the movie when it comes out.
Thanks so much. Thanks for taking the time to speak with me. I enjoyed it.
All right, Jeff, take care.
You too. Thanks.